but the knife, as we saw it, was finished. I believe AGF won it, if I'm not mistaken. And Inferno is about to begin.
Listen, man, we've already established that you don't need to put any guesswork into who won the knife round, especially when you can just view who has the better.
The better knives. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to forget that. I'm sorry. I tend to forget that.
It's very easy to forget that CS:GO is a pay-to-win game, but that's what makes or breaks a professional player.
There's a
throwing your money at the screen.
There's a saying here: more money, more music. So in this case, yeah, AGF.
Yeah, I just imagine a professional player in a clutch situation just quickly getting their wallet out and just throwing wads of cash at their monitor in hopes that it'll turn into a 500 hertz monitor or something.
Well, I'm not sure 500 hertz monitor will help him immensely in that sense, but I'm gonna say, you know, maybe if he throws out about $100, he can get the op for free in game. So, you know, I mean, in game free, real life, it's $100. So who wouldn't buy an AWP for $100? I mean, come on, guys, you can literally have it then.
Guys, I have to eco. Can you drop me up?
Oh, imagine if you'd actually have to pay for drop weapons. Oh boy, that would be an interesting dynamic in game. Then nobody would really drop. But speaking of drops, there is none yet, as it is the pistol round. Let's see how it goes. AGF, they're going to be on the CT, Crazy on the T, and it's time to tell the story here between these two teams who have yet to met through the group stages.
Crazy, starting on the T side. So they aren't really going for an early play just yet. Dafu getting quite a bit of information here on Banana, or a lack thereof, because he hasn't spotted Sensei, who's already moved in towards logs. Ooh, nice little crispy one tap to secure the first kill. TMB follows suit as the logs player has been taken down. 3 on 5.
Now we can see Surge's, Demq, and Psycho have a little bit of a hard job ahead of them. If they want to break down the B side, they'll have to do it soon before rotations come over. AGF, they are already kind of playing very defensively towards A itself, as Christo is close for that last rotation towards the CT side. Now, one thing I like about AGF is how they're set up here for the B hold. There's an anti-flash held by Dafu, whilst TMB is basically set up with a smoke in hand in case of first contact.
Yeah, this is an ironclad setup here because of the fact that they were given the comfort to be able to utilize the range of USBs. They can now just back off and play 3-2 setup where they pretty much have nothing to worry about. But now, Crazy making their way towards the B bomb site, bomb in hand, 30 seconds on the clock, and a smoke to Sergey's name. They're now moving in. Dafu, the anti-flash, should be working out in his favor. Comes around on top of Coffin. TMB is there to support. He gets 1 kill. Has to back off behind the smoke. And unfortunately, not any damage has come out from the T side. So the bomb is going to be next to impossible to plant. Psycho just trying to get some damage done. Go down before the timer so he can at least have some money for the next round.
It's a clean round. I did not expect it to be, and as you said, ironclad hold with having both players set up in a manner where they can easily evade early contact as soon as they spot any information or get any information. We could see TMB jump into triple. We could see Dafu remaining still in ruins, in coffins, and by the time Crazy were able to cross, there were already players coming in through CT as well. And even if there was a frag or two for Crazy, they would have had to have dealt with a rotation that would be there nearly imminent. Crazy, on the other hand, of course, an eco round, they don't really have much of a choice. We see a single P250. They're going to be attempting this A break through apps, most likely. If it is a waterfall or not, we'll see soon enough. But either way, this round should be ending with great success for AGF, given that they've taken banana control, and they do have the 4 SMGs. Very standard for AGF, something we're seeing continuously from them.
Yeah, this is really bad for Crazy because AGF, given that early information, they can just mow them down here on mid with the stopping power that comes with the MP9s. Toxic somehow getting away with a kill. Unfortunately, not able to follow it up. AGF, pretty clean round. I mean, as far as the numbers go, they did take quite a bit of damage, but that doesn't really matter as only one player went down, and that too was with an SMG. Some of the players upgrading to a couple M4s. MP9s coming out as well. Up against AKs and Galils.
Quite a little bit of firepower for Crazy compared to against what AGF are throwing on the board. It's going to be harsh, but let's find out if that's actually really going to be true. Pushing down middle, Dafu, TMB, great a few frags coming out as Surges was the only one to really respond. DemQ from Mexico is able to hit one, but he is going to have to retreat here. Cristo is out and about, still a 2-on-3, and look at the fight through second middle. Surely they will not anticipate this. TMB's already in T-abs deep, getting towards balcony. Yep, there's the first, and that should be pretty much scaring Psycho into submission. A 1-on-3 has left.
Oh, Psycho, he's going to have to give away information if he wants to clear out this bomb site. Not able to really connect anything yet. Now, this brings me to my point that I was thinking of during the round. I really like it when teams, like, straight off the bat, they start going for a few crazy plays here and there, you know, quickly pushing down mid, especially because you have to consider the mindset of the T side in that scenario. They're thinking, okay, we just got mowed down 2 rounds in a row. We finally have weapons, so let's take it slow this round. So it's very easy to forget that there could be a push coming down, and even if you're getting ready to set up a default, even if you're a little bit too slow, even if you're just a little bit, if you're not cautious enough, you can get caught by that, and that's exactly what AGF capitalized on. And TMB, already some aggression paying off as he takes down Psycho. Crazy seemed to not be able to catch a break. Already down to pistols, looking to be giving away the 4th round to AGF eventually as well. TMB, who if he throws a nade now, there's going to be a lot of damage, but he opts for the flashbang instead. Nade.
Sure.
I think he's just waiting to catch a pixel before he pops the nade there.
Timing is all in this case, and well, timing doesn't really connect for him. To expand the point you were making, yeah, it's not only about a crazy play down middle for AGF, it's the fact that they have SMGs and they realize that themselves, if they were to wait patiently as one would expect,
excellent.
They would be taking bad fights, like MP9s against AKs. We all know if you're patiently waiting in a corner, you will be overrun against those AKs, even if you might be accurate enough to get a kill or 2. And in that sense, AGF certainly were able to handle themselves perfectly. And even if it were a loss, for example, they would only lose a few, right? Only 2 M4s, and that could have been saved. And nonetheless,
yeah, recognition of the fact that you don't have firepower, I think.
Yeah.
Especially in a round where you have a mixed bag of MP9s and M4s, and it's so easy to read the enemy team in this regard because you can immediately tell that they're going to have more firepower than you, like in 99% of cases.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's an easy call to make, and something that maybe Crazy should have anticipated, but that is in the past now, and AGF is up 4-0. Crazy. Now another buy on their hands. Cristo goes for an early peek, is able to take down Sensei, and again, Crazy not able to catch a break. Surgi up so close in the cubby, 54 HP, but that doesn't last him too long either. Psycho tapping away through the smoke. Not much damage being accumulated. Crazy seem to be able to finding themselves in these situations so early on in these rounds. Pretty much a bloodbath here down on mid, and AGF has been playing it to perfection. Nade rolls out, some damage going the way of DemQ, and this is again pretty much a perfect setup coming up from AGF. They have 3 players to contend with if they decide to hit the A bomb site, which they should be doing very soon. Molly rolls out, and so does the flash. T-side pressure coming in from short. The information has been given away. They have to worry about 2 players. Lucky gets one from Pit. He gets taken down eventually, though, and Cristo has a massive job to do here with the AWP. Gets caught in between 2 angles, but Dafu is there to back him up. Now 1 versus 2. DemQ with the AWP.
This comes into a pretty close clutch, given how it all began. DemQ certainly has no idea, though, that both players are going to be encroaching upon him from long itself. Smoke going to be deployed. There's a bit of a gap, though. This could allow him that much needed one-on-one challenge to be won. He has 20 seconds to play with still. Time is not his ally in this case. And here comes the plant, here comes the commitment. There's a Molotov available, and DemQ able to isolate the first. Dafu is down, but he does not know about Cristo, although he might have heard him. I'm fairly certain he might have heard him. Smoke going to be deployed. That is an issue. TMB how does he use this smoke in his favor? He has a kit. He can press the bomb. He does. DemQ does not know about the player not defusing. He has to blind shot a little bit through the smoke, and he's ready for the angle. Takes the no-scope, but cannot hit it. Close call. And CR4ZY, they play a round that could have ended their way easily if only one more lucky point they would have been able to acquire. AGF, given that they started with Christo and TMB pushing down Banana, getting 2 frags, opening it up into a 5v3 for AGF, this definitely comes as a costly outtake of the round itself, yet they win.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting to even get to that 1 versus 1 situation, but AGF still somehow pulled through. And CR4ZY, because of their loss bonus now, they pretty much should have continuous rounds where they're able to buy up. This time around though, CR4ZY, I think they've made some adjustments in their default. Dem getting more information towards mid early on. TMB with the boost. That was a bit of a missed timing there. Not necessarily in parts of, like in terms of missed timing by the players, just getting CS going a little bit there.
Classic.
But DemQ gets caught off in the halls. Christo has been taken down, and I think this is the first round where CR4ZY actually got the entry frag. So opening duels always a big point, a big question mark whenever it comes to getting space within the round. Lots of map control being established by CR4ZY here because we aren't able to see the same kind of dominance this time around from AGF. But TMB with his cute little one-way there is able to move around the corner, and so does Psycho. A little taste of his own medicine, and the smoke will roll out, and the B bomb site's defenses have pretty much been chipped away.
Finally, success, CR4ZY. They should be able to find a meaningful ending in this case, and well, Dafu is going to go the wild horse spray, unfortunately. Can't really do much there, and DemQ's already waiting, as you mentioned, through CT, the flank being set. 4 frags for this guy. He single-handedly pulls it out from somewhere and saves CR4ZY.
Yeah, he was all the way on the A bomb site, by the way.
Yep. Like I said, like he's able to literally dismantle the defense single-handedly. And Sensei still at 0 frags himself. This is perhaps not, you know, fully concerning, but definitely tiny bit concerning given Sensei's resume. But in any case, it will be a rebuy. Christo back on the op and a full investment. The last one here for AGF. If they lose the round, they'll be utterly broken economically speaking.
Yeah, very rare to see the T side not being able to afford anything, but that is going to be the case. AGF, though, they find themselves in an economic downfall as well. Dem trying to replicate the success of the previous round as he tries to find a player towards halls, but Christo will not be making the same mistake this time around. He's holding that very narrow angle with the AWP to potentially catch off somebody that walks in. Left side of mid being smoked out. The Arch's information is just not there anymore. And I like this setup from CR4ZY because they're able to establish quite a bit of map control, but at the same time this is a little concerning because AGF, they have 4 players rotated towards A, and they've given up quite a bit of B banana control, and already losing a player. I think this definitely makes the round a lot more difficult for CR4ZY, especially since they only have 40 seconds on the clock now.
Well, they're running out of options. They need to make a move, and fast, and it does look like A will be their target. And gotta respect the hustle here, that they realize that it will be the weaker point, even though they might not know exactly. The rotation coming from AGF will cost them a lot if they do not realize what's up. And here come both players now starting to push back towards A site. There's a player in Graveyard with the AWP. The hit will connect on Psycho, doesn't get the frag though. And in pit, it's Lukey. Small pit overtaken almost instantaneously. TMB, great spray. Oh, Frostlove the second. Wait, what? They got both through the smoke there. Lucky stars are definitely aligning here for AGF. And
I am really surprised that AGF was able to win that after that rotation. I mean,
runs out.
After that rotation and the spray failing from mini pit, I was like, okay, this is pretty much a done deal for CR4ZY. But the fact that they're able to deny the plant through the smoke, that completely changed the outcome of the round. So definitely some stars that have had quite a bit of aligning to do here. And 6-1, Crazy only being able to find one round. And like I said earlier, now they're in a position where they don't have any money, already dropping the AWP as well, as Cristo wins the aim duel down mid and Sensei is caught off guard.
This is a little bit concerning. And the worst part for Crazy is the fact that they did run out of time. Both players that were lost alive there, by the time they were able to start even planting the bomb, they're already out of it. And, you know, the 2 smoke kills didn't help one bit as well. And as you said, Crazy, economically in a bit of a tough spot. It's like, they'll still try their best, of course. Why wouldn't they? Here comes the pop flash for TMB, though. And no anti-flash being set. The bomb gonna be lost. Surges engages as well, though. At least able to find one. Does not matter too much when Dapu is on the edge. And is able to refrag the loss of both Cristo and TMB. 3 players there. AGF paying a high price to hold the line, but they hold it. That's the point. And Toxic, 35 seconds. Let's say 30 since he has to plant as well.
And he doesn't even have the bomb. You have to keep that in mind. It's dropped on the other side of the smoke. Yep. He wasn't able to recover it just yet. And now it's pretty much a check and mate for Toxic because he has 2 players to worry about. Unfortunately, the Green Goblin is a pretty powerful weapon, but you cannot split a shot in 2 like in action movies. Ooh, I think he's just going to try to go through the smoke. Unfortunately, though, gets sandwiched entirely. And that's the lucky 7 on the board for AGF.
This is definitely shaping up into a very one-sided affair. Lucky number 7 or lucky number 11. Either way, it is going to be a timeout for Crazy. They better start talking amongst each other what the hell they need to switch up in order to get a bit more space on the map even. So far, what we're seeing from AGF is consistent domination towards Banana for the most part. They're able to take control of it. If nothing else, they're able to take a frag or 2 out of it before they retreat back onto side play at default. For A side, we're not seeing too much AAPS control itself. They're not actively looking to find purchase in that aggression, but they are at least contending for mid control in general. And Crazy, like I said, they're having issues. They're having issues finding just space for each other and for themselves. And first of all, I think their main focus should be that, or revert to a very different style where you try to brute force break the doors down effect, basically.
Yeah, at its very essence, it just comes down to 2 major mistakes. It's map control, because they're not really establishing any control towards Banana, which allows AGF the mobility to be able to rotate their players towards A, and the fact that they don't really have a very hands-on approach in terms of refragging. They're quite a bit worried to be losing players, and that worry is basically making them lose players because they don't have a second player set up for the refrag almost ever now. This time around, they're going to be kicking the doors down like you suggested. Crosslife with the Molotov. He has a lot of work to do here on the A bomb site, and Lucky, backing him up, is able to get 2 kills. 4 versus 1 now. They find themselves in a deja vu situation, but at least those nightmares lasted a little longer. 8-1, Crazy being pretty much mowed down here. But luckily for them, that wasn't much of a buy round. Now, full utility should be coming out. Sensei, again on the AWP, which he hasn't had much success with, supplemented by the information that he currently is sitting on 0 kills, but it happens to the best of us, so no judgment being passed here.
Hey man, it happens, you know? It happens, and as you said, no judgment, just sympathy, because I know how he feels in this instance. It sucks balls, and there's no better way to put it besides just it's an abysmal feeling when you're unable to connect with anything whatsoever. Yet
it's not even a case of just connecting shots. I mean, he hasn't been granted the space by his team to be able to really put his op to get good use.
You're putting it on the team now. I'm not saying, I mean, in a way, yes, but on the other hand, he's part of the team, so it's equally his problem as the rest of the teams, right? It's more about him not feeling confident enough even when he had the chance to shoot, but he's unable to get the kill, right, is what I'm trying to say. And We can see right now, Crazy, they finally took a little bit of charge in their hands. They have apps control, which is vital. Look at the minimap right now. Banana is completely and utterly lost. If any retake were to be attempted, they're going to utterly be destroyed. And
Ooh, 3 people
yeah, like
here.
anti-flash being held. Here come the counter Molotovs. There has to be one more at least, but nope, they're going to delay that TMB. The corner being held, the anti-flash being held. They know there's a second player ready, but there's an op waiting down the line. And as you said, as we mentioned, banana control has continuously been a problem for Crazy, and it's not going to get any better. Christo, though, a bit risky there. There as well. Oh, wowzers.
Ooh, Christo trying to land the shot here on Sensei. Sensei has already gotten 2 kills, and he goes for the knife too. I think he's a little hurt by the fact that I said he's on 0 kills, because he ended up finishing his 3rd kill with style, but he still has a little bit more work to do, as he has Frost left to contend with, and he will. 4 kills on the board for Sensei, and insane stuff coming out individually. Now that was off of the back of not even being granted that much space. You have to keep that in mind, so I think your words definitely rang true to say that he hasn't really had the confidence, but I think confidence was bursting at the seams here as he ran in with his flashy little karambit and just butchered him there. But yeah, one thing I wanted to mention, hogging the couch here a little bit, but one thing I wanted to mention is that that was still an insane read coming out from AGF to take a lot of banana control, because you have to keep in mind that they've been giving up banana control so far, and the one gun round that comes in after, or like the second gun round that comes in after the pause, they realize, okay, they're probably going to try to make adjustments towards banana, because they will eventually, like, respecting the enemy team and recognizing that they will realize themselves that they've been giving up banana. So this time around, we're going to go ahead and take good control of banana, so they're not even granted that space.
And I mean, that space is being denied so heavily right now. TMB, he pushed down towards T middle, or T pit almost. It speaks of the volumes of confidence AGF still have on them. It's a bit of a harsh reality that Crazy might have to accept no matter what. We'll see how this conflict towards A goes, though. It's vital that they're able to first shut out Luki. His M4 in Broken Wall will be a difference maker in the hold itself. Christo with the op as well. If they can't deny him, they might as well give it up altogether. Christo, Luki, the lineup finds only the one. That's a bit of a shame. A player had been able to cross safely. Frost left, patient as ever though, in mini pit, will widen himself and allow for a refrag to be immediately available. DemQ does not see Christo, and that's a problem yet again.
Yeah, Christo's position here is pivotal. I don't think it is going to be a very easy task to come back into the bomb site to try to defend the bomb. Now 3 hungry CTs about to go in for the defuse here. Sergey not able to connect his shots, and that leaves Sensei in a 1 versus 3. Very difficult situation to be put in. He gets the first shot, unable to connect the second, and AGF will be running away with their 9th round, almost on double digits, to the 2 points of Crazy.
The one bigger problem for Crazy is the fact that they win 2 rounds in a row, yet lose the 3rd, where their loss bonus is at their, well, not worst, but definitely drops down a little bit, and then they find themselves having to rebuy with very minimal amount of cash left in the bank. And, well, I say minimal, yet they are able to go for full buys for Sensei, DemQ, and Surges. Toxic might as well afford one himself. Psycho, though, only AK, if anything else. And no, he's going to sacrifice the firepower for the utility. I respect that. That's a true team player in that sense, that he goes for the utility instead of the AK itself. But AGF, on the other hand, I mean, we spoke about confidence for Sensei perhaps being a little bit low, having a tough start. AGF is booming with it. They're literally, you know, their aggression has been unprecedented so far. And since there's been no punishment from Crazy for the banana takes and for the like, AGF will continue to do this. They will continuously try to take banana control and divert the attention of Crazy as much as they can until it's too late for the T's to respond. And look at this. TMB's already embedded himself deep into banana again. And they've rotated off a player so quickly they had to bring Christo back for the support.
Yeah, I think TMB's position has been pivotal in deciding this game so far. Being able to get up close and personal in Banana just gives AGF all that breathing room. And again, the mobility is being granted. The rotation comes in before
Ouch.
the push does from the T side. The nade doing quite a bit of damage, and now Dafu and Lucky are in a solid crossfire setup here for the shelter player. Now Dem slowly making his way in. The smoke will be avoided by him, but Dafu will not be avoiding anything here as he makes sure to land those bullets. Now Lucky, he swings out wide with the MP9, gives away the information, but it's not going to matter because Dafu's managed to pick up 2 kills, and Crazy only has 30 seconds on the clock. Sensei gets a bit see his goat there as he misses the angle as he's about to unpeak. Now with only 30 seconds, Crazy has quite a bit of work to do,
They might
quite a
be
bit of a burden on their shoulders.
They might be looking to go back to if you have a player set in Banana. Toxic, though, shuts out Lukey, and this is the second time we see him over-aggressing. This is vital info and a vital frag. Dafu now easily isolated. Toxic takes him out, and that's all on Lukey. That mistake might have cost them the round, and indeed it will. Oh my god, Lukey.
Oh, is it too late to plant the bomb, though?
No,
Oh,
there is.
that was
Barely,
barely
but
it.
they do get it. Lukey definitely screwing up the whole thing there. Dafu being left alone by the time, Christo can come in to respond. It's already too late, and I'd have a few words with Lukey in that case if I could, as an IGL or as a player, or as a team player in that case. It's like, come on, dude, at least call for a flash, right? If you're trying to peak apps. Call for a flash. Dafu as well wasn't really left with an option. If he had been able to reposition into pit, for example, giving himself a bit of a better defensible spot, maybe there would be more to be had afterwards. But
Yeah, if anything, I think that was just a misread on AGF's end. The reason Lucky went for the push there is because there was a rotation coming out from AGF over towards B. Because I think they did a misread where they thought that, okay, they're quickly making their way towards B now. So Lucky, he was just pushing apartments as insurance to make sure that there's nobody waiting that's quickly going to drop down and try to go for the bomb plant. But in that moment, in that split second of pretty much a lapse of decision making, that's where Crazy was able to capitalize on the window and eventually get the bomb down. Now AGF still looking pretty comfortable though, because they do have 9 rounds, even if it is the favored side. I think the T side is definitely not as weak as it used to be, and 3 rounds are definitely not something that you can comfortably get away with anymore in the current meta. Now Dem walking out of Boiler, trying to be cheeky, but Christo is not having any of it and will be putting one in the gut. 9-3 still.
see, one thing that does baffle me now, I get what you say about the previous round, right? I get it. They had a chance for a fast rotation towards B. Even AGF was aware of that. But Christo was on Banana. He had the line of sight. He had the line of fire towards Banana. He could have made the call for rotation later, and Luke definitely didn't need to take that risky play. Toxic towards top mid, though. Hold on to your horses. There is still a way this round could go easily for Crazy. The angle, unfortunately for Toxic this time around, favors Frostlev, as Christo was able to find his second on Banana itself as we spoke. And Surgis and Sensei left with, well, senseless ambition, and that's about it. Crazy. Let's see what the decision here will be. Looks like A again. Can't blame them. Frostlev. Does he go into pit? Surely. No, you can't. No. You're gonna stay here. I mean, this is a risky stay of the day. You can say so. Although, Surge is... Okay, Frostlev, I mean, that's gonna work. He was spotted by Sensei, but his reactions seem to be much better. 10-3, crazy as you said, 3 rounds. Not shabby, but unfortunately not better than that either.
They can still look to bring it towards 5 rounds, and that puts them in a position where a comeback is definitely possible. But even in that case, the pistol round will be pretty much the deciding factor as far as the game goes. Luckily though, this is only the first map for anybody that is tuning in late, and this is not Crazy's map pick, so this is, although is not expected, it's not much of a surprise either. Sensei taking quite a bit of early damage here. Same setup coming out from AGF. 3 players towards the A bomb site, 2 players towards the B bomb site. Control for Banana being abandoned entirely from both teams, and crazy, they're making their way towards A now. Frostlev and Lukey, they have quite a bit of work to do here because they have the crossfire set up. Pristo's already, oh, Psycho running up on the scooter, and Frostlev has been taken down. Now 5 versus 4. Crazy have so much control here. Lucky, though, is able to somehow evade certain death and make his way into apartments.
Well, seems like Crazy, as you said, finally finding their way into the site, into the round itself. Should be the 4th without any further loss, well, without any losses whatsoever. And this is certainly a massive improvement as to what we've been seeing for the last other 10 rounds. There's only one real concern to be had still, having only 4 rounds currently, and on the horizon, of course, looking like 5 might be possible. Is it going to be enough? I guess is what we can say, or we can ask ourselves here. Is it going to be enough to draw the line, or to draw them over the line, and allow Crazy to go for 10-5, and then afterwards, of course, secure potential comeback on the CT side? Either way, money lackluster. AGF, you can see the SMGs, you can see the, let's say, lack of overall utility in some cases. They still have a little bit available to the majority of the players. Oh, Christo, this is something we haven't seen yet, actually. Very risky click, very risky play of the day, but might actually work.
Oh, I think this is going to work out in his favor. Narrowly missing the shot on DemQ, and he goes for it again, but DemQ was able to spot him. Just how angles work sometimes in CSGO and just geometry in general. Oh, that was a little unfortunate to see, especially after we saw all of that commitment coming out into the good old right click from the AWP. AGF, though, I think they're looking to try to get some of that advantage back, or at least bring the numbers to equal. Dem is going to be in for a nasty surprise if he decides to go in for a play towards short. Just underpowered right now. That's what AGF have to worry about.
Yeah, the MP9's doing them no justice, but they seem to be well aware of a potential A take. And their hold is dependent on the first contact of Frostlev. His MP9 might be vital in this hold while he is standing a little bit wide exposed. I'm not sure what exactly was the intention there, but sure. Good pop flash in small pit, Dafu. Luki is going to try and hold this line best he can. Oh my god, Luki, are you kidding me? Dafu as well, the crossfire being set, and now it's a 1-on-2. As Dafu takes a bit of a wild swing though, not necessary in its entirety. And it is down to TMB, a 1-on-2. Surgis and Sensei, together they mark up 22 HP. But the op of Sensei might have something else to say. The line, let's see if it will be easily broken. The veil.
Ooh, I think Sensei recognizes this. I think he spotted the gap in the smoke, but TMB spots him as well. Now Sergey, he's one bullet away from certain death, and he gets spotted. TMB secures the round 1 versus 2, and what a play there from Lucky. I mean, we were roasting him quite a bit there for the misplays over towards apartments, but this time around, man, he definitely pulled in clutch and is able to put AGF past the bare minimum required for double digits, and now they have 1 additional point to their name. 11-4, crazy, definitely going to be an uphill battle as far as the map goes.
Well, I mean, this is pretty much best case scenario for AGF. Crazy are starting to be tossed around as if they had never played this map before, and given the current circumstances, given how it ended, it certainly looks like that. Let's see if the pistol might be any different though. AGF, they're not necessarily dependent on the pistol. It would help immensely in closing out the map in quick succession. Crazy, on the other hand, this is a little bit of a different beast to entail. And oh, double nade, love it. Had not seen this in a little while. It's a great little bonus that you can pull off on the pistol if you get lucky, of course, and they do.
Yeah, but at what cost though? Because this also means that 2 of their players haven't been able to afford armor, and it also means that they will be foregoing some weaponry.
Well, I would argue weaponry
Lucky.
is not an issue. Armor definitely is, though. And Lucky, as you say, Lucky finding himself one, though he re-peaks the angle. His sight is lost, though. And already the retake is on.
The bomb yet to be planted, though. And AGF, they've already gathered all the troops up towards short. And I think that's what they're committing on. Toxic. First man in. Lucky, he spots one, but I don't think they have the information that all of the players from the CT side are coming in from the same angle just yet. TMB spamming away with the Glock is able to find the first kill. Lucky follows it up with a kill on his Sensei. Rushing into the bomb site. CR4ZY is able to get something done with the CZ75, but that play, unfortunately, just not working out for Crazy.
Well, they tried, they failed. Unfortunately, they won't have too many second chances left. This first map might be coming to a close quickly if Crazy don't get their act together. And we know the name might suggest differently, but they'll have to try hard in order to not get absolutely smashed to bits and pieces on the gun round that will follow. Interestingly for AGF, compared to their CT side, they only have a single SMG, and that would be a Mech-10. Which definitely comes as a tiny bit of a surprise, given how much love they're showing to SMGs on the CT. And that also spells how much confidence they currently have in each other
Look at
and
them.
in one another. The Zeus might actually come into a meaningful moment. Well, unfortunately for him, they don't take this route of attack.
Yeah, somebody was about to walk into the Zeus, but that is not going to be the case anymore. Toxic, though, holding the angle with the P250 is able to outwit a rifle. Unfortunately, nothing more is going to come out from that, though. AGF putting their foot on the ground and taking this round away pretty convincingly, unless CR4ZY can pull something out of the bag and get 8 USB one-taps in succession, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
What can I say? It was, again, a small effort they tried to pick up the round with, and, well, exactly as much effort there was, that much they get out of the round. 13-4, though. The gun round is where it matters, what matters currently. Crazy, as I've already said, it's all or nothing for them. This map will be coming to a close quickly if they can't get their act together. And Toxic getting knifed doesn't help any one bit. Boost onto balcony, not an unusual thing to see. It's actually a pretty nice little tidbit that you can implement into your defense. Usually what you want to have, though, is a second player on short that's kind of either holding an anti-flash or otherwise being close to the wall where he can hold the corner with the player on that boost. And we can see Sensei, because there's no player there, he has to pull back. He needs to play it safe. There's also a chance of wallbang and such, and generally it's not easy holding that position if long is smoked, if flashed and such, and well, AGF. They're not even thinking about A this time around.
Crazy, not the same kind of map control that AGF was taking, but TMB, despite the flashbang, is able to rip Psycho's head to shreds. The B bomb site should pretty much be a free entry for them. The only thing they have to worry about is the Coffins player. And definitely a valid worry, as CR4ZY is able to take down TMB through the smoke. 4-on-4, the retake definitely still within the realm of possibility. They're slowly moving in towards it. Not a single kit to be found, though, which is going to make their lives a lot harder, and I think they're banking on one of them having a kit. Not sure if that information has been communicated just yet. The flashbang further impeding their progress. 2 players going down, followed by a third. Dafu making quick work of them, and Toxic realizes that the best case scenario here is for him to run away with this M4 and let AGF away with yet another round. And I mean, 2 rounds, man. They're only 2 rounds away from the win, and Crazy have yet to show us any signs of being able to bring it back into this. Some of the aggressive plays on the T side, we thought that, okay, maybe Crazy's going to be able to bring it back, but we haven't really seen a recap of that anymore.
Well, I mean, that was That was more than just disappointing. It just kind of ended with a bag, and well, yeah, this is definitely not looking sweet right now. Crazy, they've pulled everything they have. The cat's out of the bag, as one could say. And they've got the M4, the FAMAS, and the MP9s kind of trying to chime in into this retake of B, or retake of Top Banana was implied, or at least attempted, but unfortunately they lose Surges before he ever gets close to it. And this round is concluding, I can say as much, with most likely success for AGF. The pistols and the general weapons for Crazy are not exactly to be very supportive in the hold, and 5 players are about to barrel down through that angle of B. As Psycho is behind the pillar, he's not spotted, but he does take the first shot and unfortunately misses his chance. No second shall be given. Molotov is good, actually. Does critical amount of damage, which is very nice to see. But again, they cannot hope to even retake this.
Yeah, the only thing that could have come off of that Molotov is if Toxic was there on the retake to be able to throw a nade there, because that would have actually gotten him 2 kills, as TMB and Dafu were relatively close together and on 11 collective points of HP. But unfortunately, Crazy is just going to have to play for the match point. They're going to have to play for overtime, which is definitely not something you want, especially based on how easy it is to just let a round slip out of your hands on the T side. I mean, against the T side. Good call though. I mean, that's all they can hope for. I think a 3 versus 5 retake definitely a worse shot than trying to go for overtime here.
I mean, overtime is it's so far away. Right now they should just be focusing on the basics, focusing on the on a round-to-round basis where they need to pick up. Well, just focus on the current instance, right? Focus on the 5 kills you need to get, and the 1 round that you will pick up with those 5 frags. In any case, though, the 5 kills already chiming in to be too much to handle. Christo the second. Oh, this is not looking good.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Demq. His angle might be favorable for certain engagements, but as soon as the cat's out of the bag, he's in trouble. And well, right now he is in trouble. There's a flank grabs.
Oh, yeah.
Good night. And I think that might just be goodbye as well.
Yeah, I think that it is going to be a GG pretty soon. Dafu connects the shot, furthers, digs the grave deeper. Sergey not able to connect anything either. 16-4, AGF, a pretty convincing win on Inferno, which was their map pick, but we have yet to see what Crazy is able to do on their own, so stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned, boys, as we go in.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives.
Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our heart implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode.
pick the side that they're going to start on now on their map pick, because they need this map. Otherwise, it's going to be a 2-0. I mean, for anybody that is tuning in late, you can see the score up there. AGF has already taken a map, and it was quite convincing. Crazy. I think they should be opting for the CT side though, because Mirage is still Mirage is one of those maps where I think the CT side definitely has a favor. The bench down towards the middle definitely giving some of the power back to the T side, but still not being quite enough. So for most teams, I think they still want to start on the CT side. Not sure if I actually know of a team that would start on the terrorist side.
To be honest, starting on the T side, it might not be the worst part for AGF if we're kind of looking at it from a bit of a brighter perspective. Crazy, on the other hand, they never really showed us any sort of chance they might have had on the CT, so perhaps this is the one where they pull off a bit of a better performance, and the bomb in connectors being lined out. Christo will still be able to find one TMB as well, and Lucky accompanies a few more shots alongside everything else. It's going to be Toxic left, a 1-on-2. He does not have a Kevlar, but he has himself a Molotov. And that might be enough to potentially pull it off. Incendiary grenade, if you want to be more exact about it. But TMB wins the duel without an issue. And there we have it. The first one back to AGF.
Ooh, this is not good for Crazy. I mean, after that devastating finish on the previous map, AGF right off the bat also cements their victory with another round in the pistol round. Straight off the bat, 4 AK-47s to boot, a little bit of utility as well. But they recognize that they don't need that much utility. They're up against pistols, so they're quickly just going to be looking for mid-control. Sensei not able to connect a shot just yet. And Crazy, they are definitely not equipped to be handling this kind of push, especially because they just, I mean, specifically because they didn't have the weaponry. Just out of, just because of the virtue of losing the pistol round. Little bit of damage coming out from AGF so far. But this is a smart play to go back, reset, and instead of just committing entirely towards mid, which Crazy might have also committed to, they're going to take their time to grant themselves some breathing room, and with Lucky on the front lines, they're able to comfortably clear out B before they actually send the bomb in.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're playing it safe here. We can tell that they're a bit more concerned about a potential pistol force as they are facing it as we speak, and they're playing it in a manner that allows them for minimal room for error, and that's how they should be playing it, of course. AGF, very comfortable in their current shoes, in their current position. They're already encroaching in towards A site and T pit, and they might actually even have a chance to snuff out the flames for the pistols that they Crazy will be saving up. Either way, this start of the map is the one thing that kind of concerns me. This is how we started with Inferno, and it really just went downhill afterwards quickly. Well, AGF, yet again, proving to be a very worthy and a very hard adversary for Crazy. And this is the map pick of Crazy, which is even worse to wear.
Crazy still not opting for a buy of any sort because they bought a little bit of stuff in the previous round. They had the scout rifle, they had a few pistols here and there. And they realized that they need to eco again if they actually want to have a decent shot at winning the gun duels. AGF now with 2 rounds on the board, looking to make it a third. Looks like a pretty standard AXX will be coming out.
Yeah, simple, right? You want to keep it simple in rounds like this. Stick together, make sure that the execute works, and that you can rely upon the basic smokes to kind of cover you against any potential scouts that were saved or anything of the like. And in this instance, they have the right idea, AGF that is. And do they push through the smoke is a better question, perhaps. It would be a risky endeavor, especially given there's a Mach 10 on surges close by.
Ooh, AGF, they're not committing just yet. They're still taking things very slow, and I think this might be a bit of a fake here because they've thrown some of the utility, but now they're still going to be committing towards A. CR4ZY is the first line of defense, and he has been taken down. TMB rips at his head, but they have so many players to deal with on the A bomb side. Only 2 remaining though. Sensei being caught through triple. If he's taken down by TMB, Spray, Dem has a lot of work to do here with the Deagle. Fortunately, not able to connect the shot just yet. Frostlev comes around the corner, and the AK-47 will be the last thing he sees.
That was actually handled a little bit worse than I would have imagined for AGF. They did lose a player, which is the surprising part, but thanks to the scout that happened, not to the pistols. Although they did get rid of the first defender immediately, which is an important thing to note. That pistol could have done some serious damage, or excuse me, that Mac-10 could have done some serious damage from under Palace. In any case, AGF, the first gun round to be met, the first actual moment where they might tremble in their boots if they lose the entry or 2. We've seen that on Inferno, how quickly they can lose control, so they're definitely not above reproach, if we can say so. Good nade as well to bring down Dafu a bit further. Overall, AGF, though, they're going to be spreading their wings through middle, looking to take short as they already are. Perhaps even moving in towards window later on, although Psycho wins that duel, TMB being a bit too sneaky. Too sneaky for his own good. It's crazy. Don't have an idea what is coming their way just yet. They might have a bit of a hint that Molotov not necessarily trying to fake it though. So Crazy should stay as they are in this current instance.
Yeah, especially because they have the advantage, there is no reason for them to make any rotates happen just yet. But Dafu could be in an insane position here if he's able to make it work. Unfortunately for him, though, somebody is watching market, so if he does decide to drop down in the jungle and try to go for a backstab, that wouldn't work out. AGF, they just tried to establish control there before they were really push in. Flash goes out. Now his teammates are going to be pouring in from connector and towards A ramp. Sensei lands the first shot, and with only 18 seconds on the clock, these fights are going to be very uncomfortable for the AGF side, but they are going to make it work. They've gotten 2 kills. They have 3 to go. The bomb being planted in the smoke, but it has been denied, and with only 5 seconds, all that Crazy have to do is just stay alive. AGF. Ooh. Damn, great position from him to keep himself alive. 3-1, Crazy getting their first round.
Massive improvement, finally live coming out from Crazy, and earlier than expected as they pick up their first. It comes at a great cost, yes, but they're able to win it, which matters the most. And 2 players have also lost their bonus as time has ran out on them, even losing a player afterwards, which is the worst part of it all. But let us see how this mid push actually succeeds or how it works out. Christo, good for 1, doesn't last them long though. Surges and DemQ, the reply being quite imminent. And all of a sudden, AGF again on the sidelines. Seems like Toxic is aware of the push by Luki, and it will be enough for him to get the entry or the kill. There we go. Easy as that. This is much, much better from Crazy than what we saw in Inferno already. They're already
especially because
better.
this is their map pick. Their mid aggression was very similar to what AGF did. I mean, early aggression, like as soon as you start rolling in those gun rounds, going for early aggression, I think that is definitely something that catches a lot of teams off guard. And this is a good contrast to what they did in the previous round. I mean, I know that you gave them credit for the previous round, but you have to keep in mind that AGF, that was just a bit of mistiming on their end. I mean, they were still able to get control of the bomb site and even almost get the bomb down. It was just the fact that that the shots through the smoke landed, which is why they lost. I mean, that was still not a very clean round from Crazy. But this time around, it is looking a lot better, but still 30 seconds on the clock, so you can't count AGF out entirely just yet, and Frostlev is looking quite healthy to go. Dafu realizes that he doesn't have much HP, so the best thing he can do is try to keep them on their toes and keep them away from the man in action. who is Frostlev. Bomb will be going down. Frostlev hasn't really taken much damage just yet. He has the positional information of Sergey, but Sensei will be there to pick up the pieces. Dafu still holding on to that AK. He realizes that there is no way he's protecting that bomb.
Yeah, there is no point in him losing his weapon for nothing. The attempt here from AGF is what matters, though. They were against all odds, or they went up against much higher odds than themselves, and they're able to get out of it with at least a bomb plan. I think that in itself is an achievement that is worth mentioning, to say the very least. But crazy. This should be the third and the tie, given what kind of position they currently stand in. Oof, nades into window, though. That is a bit of a surprise party. Not the first time we're seeing it. Definitely welcome change for a difference, as none other than TMB's already sneaked into jungle, picked up the M4, now looking for a fight. Unfortunately for him, Sensei is aware and is ready. Frostlev replies, and the damage is already severe as well. Crazy. They really seem to be losing players, even though they like to still close out even in rounds like this. Oh my god, no, whoa, okay, Sensei, a bit too much in it. And look at this, one-on-one, again, AGF, they're giving one another, like, both sides are giving one another a chance to win this round. That is the crazy part. Both peeking Tetris, and MQ keeps it spicy.
This is one time where the unpredictability of the spray actually helped him out. I mean, one of the stray bullets actually ends up hitting Lukey. Well, I think that was actually a lineup there. I think he hit him through the head onto the legs.
Yeah, like he probably wall banged him, and at that point, you know, being as low HP as they were, any shot would have been enough as long as you hit it.
Still, man, so much damage. Oh, I like this play from Crazy because they go for the boost to quickly get into apartments so they can outspeed the player that is coming in. But at the same time, he switches to his knife for a second. Oh, Toxic on the other hand, while I'm yapping away about a cute little boost, he's done quite a bit of work here and put AGF on their toes, and Psycho will be following it up as well. AGF, man, they did not catch a break there. I mean, for a second, I thought being able to get the entry off of the misplay from the Crazy player, that would have worked out, but Toxic, man, he just manhandled them there towards apartments.
He really did. I mean, once again, AGF being perhaps a little bit too overconfident, seemingly that brew that they concocted on Inferno still active and still in action here on Mirage as well. They need to take a step back on their gun round and perhaps slow down in their approaches. There is no need to try and brute force the victory. Yeah, then QQ will handle that pretty simple, pretty easy. And Crazy keeping 4 players alive, vital for their economy. So far, we really hadn't had the chance to even speak about how Crazy can perform very well on the CT side. Inferno was brief and completely unsuccessful. Here, it's a bit different. 5 in a row already. This is a perfect example of how Crazy can turn the tables in their favor when given an opportunity.
Definitely looking a lot stronger on their map pick. A 3-1-1 setup coming out. Sensei getting a little bit aggressive towards the B apartments, but that's not going to matter because most of the attention here is coming towards B short and mid. Crazy quickly adjusting their positions to become a little bit more passive as they don't want to deal with this threat head on. Toxic takes down one. DemQ follows it up as well. TMB, he's only gotten 1 frag off of that. Psycho takes him down too, so that's 1 refrag at the cost of 3. AGF feeling a little sandwiched here as it's just Christo and Frostlev left in a 2 versus 4, making their way towards the B bomb site, and they have the marksman on the other hand waiting in the short area. around the pillar. They're going to have to walk into his crosshairs before they can get anything done.
Well, we'll see if that's gonna happen. Kristo and Frostlove will still try to break the site open. Unfortunately, as you said, having to go past Sensei already might be too much of a hassle, and well, even if it's not Sensei, they have to worry about it's Toxic. AK in hand from short, the double setup as he was watching, I believe, the cross through middle to just make sure that the flank is covered. In the end, that is, well, it. 6-3, one hell of a turnaround as we're seeing it right in front of our very eyes. I gotta respect the hustle. Crazy. They are no longer trying to actively contain AGF, but more than anything allowing them to come, or allowing AGF to come to them, in the sense that we can see, or at least in the previous round, we could see their defaults being more than enough to halt AGF. Although this time, a bit of a switcheroo. Surges. This is a close call to Pit. A very dangerous maneuver he's trying to pull, especially against pistols. And by the looks of it, it's an A split that AGF will be attempting. They have the utility for it. It's crazy. If losing Surges is something they'll have... Well, if they do lose Surges, this round will be wide open. There's nothing in CT that really holds AGF at bay, which is the concerning factor right now. Let's find out how did they respond.
They're not pushing through the utility just yet, though. AGF, the one place where they can actually make it difficult is through connector. Now moving straight into the A bomb side. They've already gotten 2 kills off of pistols. Sergey, he has so much work to do here off of Under Palace. He's gotten 1 kill, 2 and 3 will follow soon. That is about it. His grave has been dug and he has been slid into it. Frostlive goes down 2 and TMB. Another double kill for Toxic. Man, Toxic has been going wild in these past few rounds. I mean, they've been winning rounds off of the back of Toxic's individual plays, and even in these rounds where he has to come back to pick up the pieces, he's able to do that just fine. But a bit of a misplay coming out from AGF to be peeking under Palace one by one that really allowed Sergey the mobility to be able to reposition himself, and even I think he even went for a reload there and he wasn't really punished for it.
I mean, Toxic is, well, he's definitely starting to be, forming up to be the MVP in this first half, to say the very least. AGF, though, the full buy, if they can find the same entry success they had in the previous, perhaps the outcome could be different. But let's find out for ourselves, shall we? In this current instance, let us see how far it goes. Oh, Sensei, fair enough. I'm a little bit surprised AGF actually go before the smokes even pop. That kind of takes away from the point of execution in itself, but okay. Kristo, good refrag at least. On site, Psycho taking a bit of a risky drop down. Now on site, as I said, it surges and he needs to stay alive in first box, in default more specifically. Not sure if he was spotted or not, but right now, it doesn't really matter. Toxic holding his cross. Here comes a wide pop flash above. Still, though, not enough, not even close. Surges on site. Does he realize, or do they realize? Well, the answer is yes, they do, but does it matter? Oh, my. Oh. That was
a bullet away from being around for crazy.
Yep.
That was nicely done with the M4A1S, but I mean, that's sort of the risk you take when you opt for saving $200 to get the M4A1S instead.
That was just this instance here. If he had been perhaps a tiny bit, how to say, tiny bit more
passive?
patient. Yeah, passive, I guess.
Yeah.
Things could have worked out better. But fair enough, AGF, the fourth is theirs. They pay a high price, yes, but it is theirs. And this time around, oh, what a nade. Ouch.
Oh, they've gotten obliterated by nades. Oh, I think Toxic somehow makes it to safety there. I think he was going to get caught with his pants down there as he has his knife out. But now AGF, they're looking pretty committed towards the B bomb site. They just have one player on chair to cut off the rotations or to potentially assist them towards B short. They are going to abandon it. Now this is a bit of a problem because if you go for a commitment towards a site without a default, and I mean it's understandable if you go for a commitment where you just have 1 or 2 players to try to get information, but if you don't have a default and you commit to a site, then you've given a map control, as we're going to see here, but it's not going to matter as Dafu is able to rip away the head of Sensei, and he gets another kill to follow it up as he's moving into the A bomb site, and now CR4ZY, the best they can hope for is just to back off into the B bomb sites. B bomb site, sorry.
I mean, be it A, be it B, they get the bomb site, and that's the round gone, right? No matter in the end what it is. And CR4ZY, their economy is not exactly going to be very supportive of this kind of action. Now, if Psycho saves up, and if Toxic is able to survive, they will be able to drop this round or the next round and be able to rebuy. That much is certain. Although, good night TMB, trying to sneak in through short.
You really have to feel for CR4ZY here, though. I mean, they made the correct play to get map control towards ramp, but they weren't really able to capitalize on it, and that's a bit of the classic duck background noise there. So
all is good. All is good. No worries. We're used to it. As you said, though, yeah, CR4ZY definitely perhaps caught a little bit off guard too much. I mean, that was... how to put this best would be, they don't seem to really have a response to any early aggression that AGF is pulling out. If that aggression is not exactly just a single person pushing out pit or mid, trying to find free entries, right?
For CR4ZY, I think that round was just failing aim duels here and there because getting over towards ramp, getting that control, and still being caught out by Sensei there, definitely not something that they would expect, right? Because you have the map control as a CT side. If you've established it already, you're expecting him to get at least a couple kills and get the information. But Dafu, just so quick on his feet, was able to establish control for the T side so quickly. CR4ZY this time around, they tried to show a little bit of mid aggression in the form of just one person. That didn't work out too well for them because that does leave the A side in a position where they don't have that much to work with. Now Sensei, though, he's gotten a couple kills and he has been lurking from the shadows all the way towards CT spawn. Psycho follows it up with a couple of kills as well, and that is a pretty clean round for CR4ZY. I'm a little surprised that they allowed Sensei to get that double kill, though. I mean, CT was wide open with nobody checking it.
It's a little bit distressing when you see AGF starting to be dropped like flies as easy as that. Certainly, yeah, as you said, nobody was checking CT, so that angle could have been paid off a little bit differently, and luckily enough, nothing went too wrong because of that. But in any case, wait a second. Another challenge here towards A site. I thought for a second that perhaps the player in pit might be pulling out or might be pushing deep out towards the site itself. Dafu in that case. TMB spotted coming from lower. If nothing else, he's been heard beforehand, so they have a good idea what's coming their way. And CR4ZY, their current setup is perfect against what AGF is setting up to be. A bit of a split, at least in this current instance. I mean, it's looking very decent from this current standpoint. They cannot be broken if there's a push coming in through connector. And yep, as I speak it, Surges preaches it. And with two players being set in window,
done.
Like exactly so. Like this, I mean, this is such a great setup from CR4ZY, man. Like honestly.
Yeah, this completely shuts down anything coming in from connector. And now this puts AGF in a spot where they have to win these duels. 2 versus 4 being brought down to a 1-on-4 as Psycho wins the battle there. And Dafu, he's done quite a bit of work here. Can he get some more done? 1 versus 4 now. He gets the shot off in connector. Goes for the bomb plant. Fakes it now. He doesn't quite go for it just yet, but Dem is there, waiting in the shadows, waiting in connector. And Crazy, man, their performance is looking a lot better on Mirage, but still not quite as good as AGF were on their own map pick, because they were on 11 points, and the best Crazy can hope for right now is 10. Very small difference, but if AGF can make it to 9-6, that is, I think that is substantially different from ending it on an 11-4 half.
Oh, most certainly it is, and not just that. If in case AGF is able to close it out with 9-6, that is also a commendable ending given the current circumstances. We do see a bit of a trade. TMB is out, but DemQ, or excuse me, Toxic, not DemQ, had been taken with that part. DemQQ on the other side, and Edward holding his line. And we see AGF deciding to not push towards the B apps and forward onto site. That would have been their death sentence. The rotations had already come in by that point. And there was a good chance that even if they had attempted, they would most likely fail in all regards. And we see a slowdown of the round itself. AGF taking a moment, a breather, if you will. They have an AK they can work with. The 2 Mech-10s might not be optimal in this instance. But they can still be very useful if properly ordained. And let's see if that's going to be the case. A site being lost.
Ooh, AGF, they have control of the site, but for how long? Because Psycho and Sergi, they've gotten a kill apiece. Lucky, though, coming around from behind, is able to get a kill. Ooh, that aggression works out just fine. Lucky goes down, and with only 30 seconds on the clock, Frostlev, he has to get 2 more kills for the bomb plant. Doesn't even have control of the bomb now, does he?
Not that I would know, yeah. Doesn't look like it. The bomb is dropped on a site, so that's the first thing he's going to have to retrieve in 10 seconds, leaving him very little time. And of course, that time already not mattering in the first place. Sensei and Sergi's pull it off, and we have ourselves a 10-5 first half, which is as good as it comes in this current instance for Crazy, really. They have surprised me beyond belief, given how we started this map. It was a 3-2-0 to begin with, now only to turn it back into this kind of a standoff, really.
Yeah, I mean, 2 points coming out from AGF after the gun round started. That is definitely not a great T-side performance, and solid stuff coming out from Crazy. I mean, had they not lost a pistol round, we might even be looking at something like 12-3 or 13-2. But of course, AGF definitely feeling a little comfortable here, knowing that they have at least 5 points, if not anything else, and the fact that they've already won the first map. Now, AGF looks like they're still being quite aggressive here towards mid. TMB has all the information in the world, and the push is coming in towards A. Christo, nice little tap to take down Sergi. Tries to follow it up with a kill onto Palace. Dem has gotten a kill of his own as well, though. Dafu swings out wide and is able to get one. Christo finds one as well. Toxic around the smoke. Not much that comes off of that. 10-6. AGF winning the second pistol round as well. And that is definitely something they needed.
Absolutely, I have to say as well that without the pistol here, AGF would be lost in space, and most likely we would be seeing a very quick succession here for the second map in favor of Crazy. But with that now in mind, with of course the pistol being dropped and giving a chance, of course, to AGF, or at least them taking a chance for themselves, we could be seeing a different kind of outcome soon enough. Let's hold on for a second and see perhaps if these pistols might have something to say, though. Psycho already getting himself one. That is more than one ever imagined. Now we can see that AGF will respond in kind, twice the force that they initially met. And I guess that's something that we should have expected, but let's see.
This is going to be really bad for Crazy if AGF is able to string together a couple more rounds and equalize the scoreline, because you have to keep in mind, at the end of the day, this is Mirage. This is definitely a CT-sided map, and if AGF can get that early round lead, or if they can equalize the numbers like straight off the bat, that is spelling bad news for Crazy, because that'll make it an uphill battle for them. Crazy now quickly trying to establish mid control along with some players towards a ramp. 2 players to be exact. AGF. A little bit of aggression here. The anti-flash. Oh, Psycho somehow catches that, but Dafu is there to get 2 frags for the price of 1. So nicely done by Psycho, but will it be enough? AGF sending the A bomb site. They're able to get 1 kill off the bat. Cristo running out of bullets in the nick of time. Eventually comes down to TMB taking down Toxic though. 1-on-2. Sensei, he has been the star player. He knows his way around the AWP, but can you say the same for his AK-47? A minute on the clock, and he's looking for information. He doesn't quite have it just yet. Picks up the bomb. Oh, I think he's feeling confident with the info now, making his way towards jungle, knife in hand.
Oh yeah.
Switches over to the AK.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be going
he knows
straight.
for a fact
Oh, absolutely.
that B is clear here.
Reading them like an open book. A perfect call, or a perfect response at least, and oh, he's gonna go into apps as well. This is just cherry on top of already a very cherry top. This is perfect.
Just a wellbang plant.
I mean, the thing is here for AGF that they do have 2 smokes and a Molotov. So if they use that correctly, this apps play might actually backfire big time. But also, the other point is Sensei. They seem to have read him well, though Sensei, oh, he draws attention, and surely right now, in this instance, Dafu, he's just gonna stick to it. He knows that he needs to, and well, in the end, that's what I'm trying to say, right? When you're in apps and there's a smoke drops, you are in trouble. You have to reposition, you have to buy a few more seconds, and unfortunately for CR4ZY, or more specifically for Sensei, his attempt will be nothing more but an attempt. But a nice try, if nothing else.
Yeah, for a second there, it did look like Sensei had a vice grip on the round, but fortunately had to let go because he took a little bit too much damage there from the initial duel, and he had to try to capitalize off of potentially reading the fate from the CT. But AGF now on 8 points, definitely feeling a little better than being down 10-5. Dafu, oh, that aggression backfires as Toxic. He's been always quick on his feet and on his aim, just not missing a single shot just yet.
Crazy shots. Toxic has been absolutely amazing in this second map. He'd been quiet on Inferno, but here, this is a little bit different. This is the Toxic that I kind of expected to see from the get-go. And, you know, I was insinuating that, of course, amongst the ranks of CR4ZY, it's going to be, of course, Sensei, the one that we should be highlighting always. And then you have Surges and then QQ. Psycho, you know, obviously just a great player overall. But Toxic, he's kind of like the unknown entity that you're never sure if he's going to perform or not. But when he does, your mind is blown. And right now, well, he's definitely pulling off some crazy plays. Let's see if perhaps this A attempt might succeed. CR4ZY, if they get this round, they would break AGF in half. Economically speaking, they are already down in the rock bed. And well, Frostlove comes out of Palace, perhaps a bit too eager to find a secondary frag, but at least finds himself one. That's a good start. Ouch.
Ooh, what a read from TMB. He does not want to get backstabbed here, and Sensei is left alone again in a clutch situation. He gets a second shot at it, but this time it's going to be a lot more difficult. He has an AWP to worry about in the form of Cristo. Bomb taking halfway down now. TMB coming in from connector. Definitely very difficult to defend, but a bit of a misplay coming out from Luke. He's going straight to the bomb. He's trying to deny the defuse, but very unfortunate there. I think that was I think the timer was a little bit off there, right?
It felt like it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it started at like 7 seconds or something. I don't know. I think I might have just misread it, but whatever. AGF still coming in clutch, able to secure the round, even off of that. Even after that misplay. For a second there, I did think that Sensei was going to be able to get that round. Now, CR4ZY yet to pick up a single round on their T side, which is definitely spelling trouble, and AGF trying to solidify it further by getting a lot of control here over towards mid, but now the information has been given away, so they don't have to get too cocky. They've pushed the T's back. They don't need to get any more aggressive, and now CR4ZY, they constantly have the presence of AGF towards mid in the back of their minds. 3-2 setup as they slowly make their way back. Well, actually a 3-1-1 setup, as there's only one player towards mid trying to get some information. CR4ZY on the other hand, not quite decided just yet.
Bit of a slowdown. I like the fact that CR4ZY is willing to take a slower approach. That's what I very much enjoy in this case. We've seen teams really ruin their chances by being a little bit too expressed to make a move, and taking mid control obviously is going to be one of their first goals, as we can see. Now they have a choice. They can draw back towards a pit and perhaps make their way back towards a site, or they can draw back and actually go for an A split, and that's exactly what they're doing. Dem QQ and Toxic, 2 frags their way. Now sure, they lose one in the process, but they have an advantage. They have the site. Cristo, though, he just dropped the bomb planter. Jesus, that was a wall bang.
15 seconds too.
Yeah, time is ticking quickly.
In the smoke now, Sensei goes for the plant. TMB and Cristo. Ooh, all 3 CTs actually coming in from the CT side. Toxic gets the first one. Now they have a lot of work to do here. They have to worry about the 1 player in connector and 2 towards ramp. Toxic, nice little 1 tap to shut down TMB after missing the entirety of the spray. Cristo, best he can hope for now is to save this AWP. And I mean, as soon as I said that, CR4ZY, they haven't gotten a single round. They finally managed to pick up a round, and this is starting to look. Things are starting to look up, but at the same time, if they keep going at this rate, it's definitely not looking too good.
Most certainly not. I mean, in this current instance, CR4ZY is starting to really dwindle down the fortress of AGF, even after them picking up the pistol and the few rounds in between. They seem to be back on track, and what's funny to me is timeouts are so sparse. It's really just a surprise that we're seeing no timeouts whatsoever, even from AGF in this instance. Would have loved to see them perhaps at least attempt to slow down, to see perhaps if they can find a new way back into this game, mentally speaking. But pistols and Kevlar, a full investment. Cristo on the op. He's already going to be able to make it shine as he finds the refrag. Well, not even the refrag, just the return, and the 4-on-4 currently ensued. Can go either way still.
I think Lucky is in a great position here to be shutting down the push because there's nobody coming in from ramp. CR4ZY, though, he's already taken down Frostlev. Cristo trying to find the shot. I think he might have spotted a pixel on Psycho there. The wall bang not quite connecting, and Lucky starts to shine from the position that he was granted. Already gets a kill off of the Deagle, but the T's, though, they have 50 seconds to work with, so no hurries whatsoever. And I think they realize that they don't actually need to commit at all. Lucky, though, on the other hand, narrowly missing the shot there, but the nade definitely a decent chunk of damage there. AGF quickly realizing that the bomb is no longer destined for A. In fact, it is going to be going towards B. The rotation has already come in, and it just comes back to the same fight over towards B. But this time around, Sensei lands the shot on Cristo. And I'm not sure if they realize that the MP9 and the Deagle are coming in to clutch.
Doesn't look like it. Dafu, he is thinking it's still B, going to remain there, whilst CR4ZY's already made their move, finding themselves on the other side of the map.
Oh, I think it might be a little too late. Oh, yeah,
it
is too late, my friend.
It is too late. That was a close call. If they had 1 second longer, 2 seconds to make it safe, that could have worked out. But instead, Dafu actually, in the end, wins the round by staying put and making sure he doesn't get caught in a bit of a swing.
His job there was to just not die, and he accomplished that, so good on him.
Yeah, and he didn't even know that, right? He thought it might be B at the end, right? He was obviously expecting the B push, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to defend this until I can, and well, in the end, he didn't need to defend anything whatsoever. Great stuff. And well, we come down to 11-10, AGF, after a 1 round for CR4ZY. They're back on the saddle, and with the time running out for CR4ZY, their money is not exactly in a position that one would imagine being, or having such a resolute start to the map. Although this half is a little bit different, I guess.
AGF now looking solid on the CT side. I mean, winning that last round, definitely not something they were expecting because of the weaponry disadvantage that they had. I mean, they did have an AWP to work with, but a mixed bag of Deagles and MP9s, and they managed to win that somehow. CR4ZY definitely not feeling too good about that loss. Toxic doesn't even have a weapon this time around. 3 AKs and an AWP though, so I think the aim duels are going to be crucial for this. One smoke already being deployed out of the 2 towards mid. Information has been denied. And Dafu, he has a big job to do here. The Molotov stops the push. They're still going to rush straight out the window though, burning through the fire and flames. Looking more like Inferno than Mirage.
They get out of it.
Now.
They get out of it, man. They still have the bomb plant. They have the chance here. Let's see. A 4-on-4 retake. 2 players extremely low. There is a bit of a limit on how far the CTs might stretch their offense. And, well, the entry already denied as it is none of them sensei to deliver it. Woof.
Good play by AGF here, though. They realize that they can't get the retake. And they'll be backing off. And what safer a place than Palace?
I mean, yeah, let's get into Palace, right? Let's get into our high castle. Let's hold it there. It's definitely possible.
Just hold the fort.
Hold the fort. Yeah, that's even better. Build a bit of a rampart. Make sure you have the drawbridge up. Close the doors if you can. Just don't be holder. You don't need to hold the doors. Just close them. But in that instance, unfortunately, it didn't work out for Game of Thrones. It will not work out here for the CTs. 12-10 as, well, I guess it did for Game of Thrones, but let's leave that. I don't even want to discuss that. God damn. 12-10. Famas is coming out. MP9 for Dafu. This investment is quite dire, it feels like. They're putting a lot on the line for very small returns. They're already losing Frostlev. That's a huge problem. And let's see if they can not lose A for a difference.
Pretty strong start coming out from CT side. Only being made better by another kill being followed up. This time around, though, man, Sensei just not really able to go much further than a single kill. Not his fault, though. I mean, man, if only the AWP was an automatic weapon.
Oh, no. Hey, we do have that. It's called the auto sniper. It's called...
Yeah, but that's still semi-auto. Listen, man.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'm talking AK speeds, AK recoil, AWP, just imagine spamming banana with that. Like, come on.
Hey, man.
$10,000 meta changing game.
We ain't Call of Duty here. Come on, get out of that. Yeah. Get out of here with your Call of Duty shenanigans.
If it's like $10,000, then the one team that wins is the one that gets to $10,000 first. So you see people running around trying to knife each other.
Just humoring the idea that there would be an automatic sniper, literally AK sniper, is like, okay, I guess it could work. You could deny.
I mean, might as well have rocket launchers too, then, right?
At that point, grenade launchers might make a way back into the game, or might make it into the game. Yeah. And hey, if they put that in the game, I want night vision back in the game. I don't even care, just for the F of it.
And the flashlight too.
Oh, dude, that was
better than inspect. Better than inspect.
Yep. It's like inspect is like people just spamming it. Flashlight at least gives away your position if you're stupid with it.
Yep.
Oh, bye-bye. Poor Christo. Never knew what hit him.
Sensei, though, this is going to be a crucial kill coming out from him because he needed to open up the round. CR4ZY definitely haven't had that many opportunities to bring themselves into the game, only getting 2 rounds so far on the T side. Now AGF definitely should be feeling a little bit of discomfort here as they have lost a player. They're down a man. Luki on the front lines. Oh, I like this. I actually like this idea from CR4ZY to make most of their attention go towards Palace, but it can also backfire if the player from AGF rotates quickly towards jungle and starts watching that. CR4ZY though takes down TMB. I don't think Frostlove is expecting more players to run straight out of Palace. They know where Lucky is. They've mollied it out, and the bomb will be going down. 3 versus 2 situation. Dafu gets tagged by the AWP. Lucky running straight out of the smoke. Toxic holding the angle.
Good angle of attack.
Lucky though not looking to miss the shots. Wait, they haven't planted the bomb yet.
Nope, they have not. And Lucky pulls up a little bit of a crazy play as Surges then literally ignores the fact there could be somebody in Tetris. Lucky finding the third as well. And that is a 4K overall he's able to pull out of his hat. Oh my, saved by the bell here our dear friends from AGF are. Without Lucky's magnificent performance here, most likely the outcome would be very much the victory for, of course, for Crazy. And that could have spelt an extremely
I'm a little surprised by CR4ZY's positioning there because he went straight out the smoke, and the only 2 positions that Lucky could have been in is they were sandwich and out like right outside ramp towards Tetris. So I'm a little surprised that he didn't look for that. But I mean, hey, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, though, Sensei has ripped apart the head of Fristo in connector, and Crazy off of pistols. They've done so much damage straight off the bat already. I mean, there's still 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, and 2 players have already gone down. And in ladder room, CR4ZY is wreaking havoc.
God, this is a disaster. This is really just falling apart right now for AGF, completely oblivious to the pistols. Let's see.
I cannot believe that Sensei was able to sneak into connector there, man.
I mean, they should have been more aware. Like, seems like AGF is getting complacent in their position. A bit too much, even. Like, every time they get around victory, they seem to be too aggressive soon after and not allowing each other even a moment of clarity. They don't seem to be reading well into what is happening, which is the scary part for me because they are ignoring the red flags on all accounts.
Oh, I think... Oh, wait, is this going to be a knife?
I almost...
No, I was hoping for the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I have to disagree with you a little bit there. I think there is a valid reason for AGF to not be going for the mid control because the implication of the previous rounds being so aggressive coming out from AGF is the fact that you're sort of building up this historical data in the minds of your opponent that there is a significant amount of mid control. So going out like that with pistols would just be a bloodbath even if they tried. But the fact that Crazy got a little bit lucky there, that was the one round where AGF didn't go for the mid push and they're relying on the data they've built up in their opponent's heads to not try to contest mid, that just didn't work out for them. So good play from Crazy to go in for mid control, expecting that AGF is not going to be putting up sustained efforts towards mid constantly.
Yeah.
That they're able to catch that off guard.
I mean,
So definitely not too bad of a play there from AGF.
I mean, absolutely. You have a valid point there. I'm just saying it's like, it feels like they're perhaps at times a little bit too eager to just hold positions they shouldn't be holding in the first place in certain circumstances, and definitely mid is one of them, right? Just being in connector without having mid control is already a red flag for me, and they should be more vigilant to that. Dafu! Good night to you, and that is the round gone. 14-12 as AGF will save what they can, or at least look for exit frags most likely. There is no point in them even attempting a retake in this instance. Again, it's going to come down to the last round here, and we might be seeing a third map soon after, although if, once again, AGF approach this gun round the way they have been for the last few rounds in a row, by doing this weird decision to put a player in connector, put a player in towards connector itself without proper support. I mean, if they lose a player there and have no refrag, it's on them. It's completely their own fault that they're ignoring a huge part of the map and not even playing it correctly if they're trying to take it, right? That's the point. I mean, that's the fact. And
oh, that round though, it could have changed the outcome of the entire game because Crazy are now able to bring it back. And now they're in a position where, for the rest of the game, they will not be in an economic deficit. While AGF, if they lose one round, for the next round, they're definitely not going to have a full buy. Even now, oh man, TMB missing the jump there. I think that was just a case of missed inputs there. AGF already losing a player, now CR4ZY clawing their way back into the game, even though AGF looked like they were looking to make it a 2-0. And we're going to need to see one more of those lucky plays, or maybe this time around, Frostlive is going to be the one to pick up the torch if they want to close it out early. I mean, we saw how crazy they were, no pun intended, with MP9s on Inferno, and I'm talking about AGF, not CR4ZY.
Oh yeah, they were absolutely insanely aggressive even.
Yeah, so this is definitely still doable, but getting harder by each passing second. CR4ZY not going for any commitments just yet, but this time around, they're going towards the ramp. They have two players to worry about. This aggression could work out beautifully, but Sergey is watching the angle, and he gets both!
Perfect.
That is so unlucky. I mean, being able to push up all the way into ramp, having the positional advantage, having the correct weapon there for the situation, and still losing out on those aim duels. We've seen CR4ZY mess that up as well, and it's only fair that it happens to AGF as well.
Couldn't be ending on a better note here for, of course, for CR4ZY, as AGF are literally being torn a new one. Perhaps, again, it comes to mind there that AGF, you know, they didn't really have the best weapons. They didn't really give themselves a chance to begin with. And as you've already mentioned, that one round was where it's at. That one round was what really could have saved the day for AGF and even pulled them into a victory. Instead, though.
Yeah. It's crazy, though. I mean, that round could potentially be the decider for being a 2-0 for AGF, to even now bringing it to the third map and it being closed out for the CR4ZY side. So it's just, it's difficult to grasp one's mind around the fact that even a single round can change the outcome from a game to looking like a landslide. Like, oh, okay, yeah, 2-0 is a pretty big landslide to, you know, 2-1 in the other team's favor. We have yet to see that happen. TMB going for the spam gives away his position. The one saving grace that AGF have is the fact that they've already taken down Dem. Definitely something that was needed. 50 seconds though. Ooh, this nade should be doing a little bit of damage to Toxic, had it not been a run throw.
Gotta respect the hustle here for AGF. They're patient in the most scary of rounds of all, right? You would imagine this is where the nerves would be giving it away, but they seem to be keeping it quite cool. And
look at Short. The aggression is coming in from Short now. Christo,
oh, yeah.
the first line of defense, as they're distracted by the bench player. He's spamming around the corner,
no.
but Psycho is able to pick up both.
Lined
Coming
up.
in from the van area. Toxic eventually goes down. Now it's a 2 versus 2. Lucky's MP9. It shines again, and AGF have brought it back. Lucky always the one to make those plays happen with the MP9, but you cannot discredit the player there towards Short, who was the first line of defense that was able to open up the round there for AGF, and the entire patience coming up from AGF. Man, that was beautiful to watch, especially, as you said, in one of the most nerve-wracking rounds that they could witness.
it's crazy how they get away with it, even though the kickoff on Short was Surge is getting a double when they lined up like no other, and it really is nerve-wracking here. AGF back on a full buy. Well, full buy might not be full in itself, but enough perhaps to draw another round to them, coming down to the 30 and the full. But let's find out for ourselves, shall we? As CR4ZY is making this very defaulty mid approach. They are looking by the current stance. They can go either A or B from this point. They could hit pretty much any site without any obstruction or problems.
Look at the adjustment in AGF's play.
Oh yeah.
Being caught off guard towards mid earlier, and like this is the kind of historical data that I'm talking about when you're talking about from a round to round basis. AGF, they were so worried about mid that they have two players playing towards connector, one watching underpass and one upper mid. Sensei, though, he has been able to pick apart Frostlev quickly, but there's only 40 seconds on the clock now, so Crazy have to do something quickly. The positioning suggests that they should be going towards B anytime soon. Christo, that is an essential shot. That could be the game changer there. Dafu, he is exposed a little bit there from short, and that is going to be his demise. Eventually goes down. TMB and Lucky try to go for the retake, but before the bomb even goes down, it comes down to a 1-on-5. Lucky missing those shots does not make his job any easier, and that is going to be it. 1-1, Crazy winning out the second map.
Stuck in my head, you know I can't forget it. I try to move on, but you're the one that I dream about. I sit alone in my room, drawing up pictures of blue skies. We've been apart for so long, I'm always replaying all the pictures and memories stacked up in my head. I wish I could let you go, I wish I could just forget. I can never shake you off. You're stickier than the super glue. I can never shake you off. I'm always trying to get rid of you. I'm never shaking you off. My friends are saying move on, I know 'cause I know, baby, it's working. It's working. Never shake you off. You're stickier than the super glue. I can never shake you off. I'm always trying to get rid of you. Never shaking you off. I'm never shaking you off. I'm never shaking. I'm never shaking. I'm never shaking. I don't wanna shake you off. I don't wanna shake you off. I don't wanna shake you
Check your body. You can't sleep neither. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep neither. Let's not sleep together. Check your ball. Check your ball. Check your ball. Underground. Check your body, check your body. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep neither. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep neither. Let's not sleep together. Check your ball. Check your ball. Check your ball.
Jack it up. Jack it up.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of wasting time. I fell where my demons dwell. My own little nightmare, I call it hell. Oh well, it's time to get back up, climbing and climbing. I'm done with this ride. I tell myself so I could feel something else. Yeah, I guess I had my bad days, but it doesn't mean I lost my style. Darling, where were you when my heart was on the ground? I thought time would prove that you would stick around. I guess time starts still, a king without his crown. Now I'm breaking, you're faking, girl. You never made a stop.
We are going into our third and final map here of this first best of three, the quarterfinals of the group stages. AGF versus Crazy, both coming out of the groups 3-1 and having the pleasure of not playing against each other in the groups themselves or in the Swiss stage themselves. But let us find out how this third and final map will turn. I'm joined by Wild Deity, and already Crazy again winning the knife. They won the knife on Mirage, and they won the map because of it. Maybe? Maybe? Or are you still sticking to your better knives theory?
No, I think what's gonna matter a lot more here is the fact that AGF have a significantly higher map win rate than Crazy do on Train. I mean, as far as HLTV stats go, at least. So it is going to be interesting to see if, like at the start of the game, I said that Crazy would always have that element in the back of their head that they would have to worry about Train even if they win the second map. Now, the question remains: is Crazy's momentum from the second map, which wasn't really much to be honest? I mean, it was 16-13. It wasn't really a landslide or anything. Is that going to carry over, or is just the fact that AGF is looking so solid on this map historically, is that going to pull through? Now, I think the latter may be the case, but we're still going to have to wait and find out. Crazy starting on the CT side, AGF on the T side. Crazy opting for a defuse kit and a smoke on Sergi. 3 sets of Kevlar, make it 4 as Psycho picks up 1 as well. And on the other hand, ooh, look at Frostlove, man. Like, I'm gonna ignore their buy entirely, and I'm just gonna point out the fact that he has a deagle.
I mean, that's just big balls play. That's big brains play. Maybe he can make an ace, or maybe he just gets absolutely destroyed. We're about to find out. Sensei already kicking it off. Dapu is out of the question. And there goes Frostlev, there goes Luki, there goes TMB. The kills keep on coming as Christo doesn't even respond to being shot from the side. In a matter of moments, that buy was literally destroyed. So there goes their attempt, but as you said, I would lean towards the latter here, that AGF do have a bit of an advantage. Now, that advantage, though, might not exactly be much to rely upon, even though they have, what, 60% win ratio on 15 maps, which is pretty decent overall. But I think we have to kind of take into account the fact that AGF are not a team that have inexperienced players, but more as a team, they are inexperienced as a whole. They're not perhaps as used to working with one another in close tandem, and it's something that perhaps affects their mentality a bit more when they lose, when they get caught off guard and such. Good start, though. The push into upper brown holes will be extremely painful, and actually not really paying off for Crazy, as well, they are playing some crazy maneuvers here, definitely doing them no justice.
AGF, I mean, after the bloodbath we witnessed in the first round, you wouldn't expect the second round to be anything like this. TMB already getting a little bit of damage done here on Sergi, all the way towards Ivy, and he'll eventually be put into his grave, all nice and cozy with a blanket. To the hands of Frostlove.
Yeah, I'd like a
now left in
blanket
it
as well,
alone.
man. Nice and cozy. I'd want it. Right now, I'd feel good early in the morning.
I'm sorry, but that's gonna cost you $400.
Oh man!
Like a diffuse kit. Like, you can either pick up a diffuse kit or you can pick up a blanket.
At this point,
it really comes down to the coz factor or being able to get the bomb defused.
If I'm honest, I'd probably choose the blanket, man. Screw the kit. I can run away from the bomb. I can't run away from. I cannot not have comfortability whilst running away.
Yeah, you can't run away from the emptiness in your heart that requires you to supplement it with a blanket. It's not physical warmth you're looking for. It's emotional warmth, but it's your brain that lets you think that physical warmth will suffice.
We're going into the depths right now. Damn, you broke me down like a child's toy. Well, hot dang it, that is gonna be the round.
Oh dang it, that's 5 sleepless nights coming right up.
A sleepless week, let's go. No, but yeah, honestly, it's quite a little bit of a crazy little bit of day here we're having. Crazy, definitely not being too respectful of their opponents and pushing a bit too much, getting themselves caught. And as you can see, let's see how this goes. In this current instance, Sensei finding the first. It's a great start. Though Frostlove, the response is almost imminent. And there is not much Crazy can do about this chokehold that they're being put in. AGF. Yep, there we go. That should be it.
Unlucky there for Sensei. I mean, just being closer to the angle than the person that peeked him, that put him in a position where he immediately gets traded without, he immediately gets picked off without even being able to respond. AGF now with 2 rounds on the board, they're already looking like the stronger team here on Train. I mean, we saw how they ripped Crazy apart with pistols, to say the least. So a little unfortunate for Crazy, but let's see if they can pull it back. But these are not the rounds that you want to be losing on the CT side, where it's so easy to let go of your economy. AGF, though, they've already made their way half into the A-bomb site. Frostlev is already halfway into Speedway. Spots one, has another one to deal with as he turns around and gets shot in the head. Dafu, though, makes the loss a little bit more bearable as he's able to take down one. He has a lot of work to do here on the A-bomb side as he picks up Sensei. The advantage being given back to the T side, but Sergey has something to say about that. Lucky's position will have been given away to Psycho, who gets caught as he's exiting the ladder. Sergey now in a 1 versus 2. He is. One saving grace is the fact that Dafu is low on HP, but it's not going to matter as Lucky realizes this and he immediately goes for the aim duel and puts a bullet in his body. Or several.
Well, several might do the trick as well. Though, in this current instance, just the one was enough. AGF, they're starting to pump up the numbers again, just like we kicked off on Inferno, and I guess those statistics from HLTV are not always going to be lying in this case. 60% win ratio definitely speaks for itself to begin with, though Crazy do have the full buy that we talked about, and the one buy that might be able to make a difference here. Let's see if we can give them Let's see if we can give them a chance, and let's see what is going to happen if, perhaps, for a difference, Crazy actually don't do something crazy and pull up a meaningful defense. 2 players on B, pretty standard, though. AGF encroaching on towards A itself. The bomb yet to even be retrieved. Doesn't look like they're going to be committing here towards the B side yet. Towards the A side just yet, though.
Crazy. Oh, I think they know that there's a person coming in towards A. The smoke going to be delaying their push quite a bit.
Oh boy.
But TMB, he's gotten the kill on Sergey. This makes their lives so much easier heading into the A bomb site, as they only have 2 players to contend with, regardless of what side they choose. Still, quite a bit of time being taken here by AGF, but the question remains, are they taking way too much time? Now, with only 30 seconds on the clock, they have to push into a bomb site soon, so they have ample time to clear these angles out, and Toxic is going to be a thorn in their side should they decide to go towards B, because just denying the bomb plant here should be enough to get the round. Nade goes out, Psycho is the only one that is actively defending the bomb site. Toxic will be taking his time, he's waiting for the bomb plant, and I don't think they realize this. He interrupts the bomb plant, and that is it. Works out just as planned. Toxic able to get the round off of just denying the bomb plant, and that is the risk I was talking about that you take when you take too long to get into a bomb site. They weren't able to effectively clear out Toxic, and not having a single player play from Highway there, that is not the appropriate move to make. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you have 4 players alive at least, there's definitely room for you to be sending one towards Highway.
Oh, I was just about to say, the fact that they ignore Heaven that much is like, okay. You know, I guess we're going to see that being played out. In any case, it is going to be a hefty little price that AGF play for in this round. They themselves to blame for their mistake of letting that one slip. I mean, they had ample opportunity, they had ample positioning, they just couldn't really care much about it, I guess, in the end of the day. In any case, game going to be paused. Technical pause by the looks of it. Now, I presume it would be... Yeah, Crazy calling it. A little bit of an internet issue on the side of theirs, and we'll have to take a few moments to see if we can resolve this ASAP without any...
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that's just something that... that's pretty much the one reason why Lands will always be the king of Counter-Strike.
Oh, I mean, that's one
Among
of
other
the many
things.
reasons. Yeah, yeah. Like, but definitely amongst the major reasons is the fact that technical issues usually do not pertain any internet problems in that sense. So yeah. I would say the biggest factor of LANs for me personally is that you get to see the players and you get to see their emotions. You get to see how they're feeling, what they're, you get to experience them in person. I think that is the biggest outtake of
Yeah,
a
for
of a
sure.
LAN in general.
Now AGF looks like they're putting a lot of their efforts towards A straight off the bat. Lucky is so far into Speedway, and I'm not sure if Crazy realizes. He's able to quickly clear out several angles, including E-Box. He turns around, gets one. Solid stuff coming out from Lucky. 2 kills already coming out from the AGF side. Dem has to solo defend this bomb site, and he gets a nice little start. Sergi is there to back him up all the way from Ivy. Even if it's not the bomb site, there is still a fight to be had here. AGF taking their time. CTs always have the fact that Dem is low to worry about, and it's their healthy player that immediately goes down. AGF, very strong start here, and with an entire minute on the clock, they should be able to comfortably get the bomb down. Dem, the best he can hope for is to save this weapon, and this should break the economy as well.
Should is the operative word in this case. And it will. I mean, it will. There's no doubt there. That's not the operative word. It will break them. That much is clear. The one thing I guess we could mention is, or we could say is, that most certainly AGF, at one point, they do make some great plays. They do make some amazing decisions, but in the end, they still sometimes fail to deliver in the most basic of performances, like the round two rounds previous, where they didn't check upper, for example. That's what kind of takes me aback a little bit. We see them play so well, but then they make the most basic of mistakes. It's just, okay, guys, that's focus. That's not you guys being bad. It's just you guys not having focus in the instance. And it's something that obviously they'll need to address best they can. They don't want to get completely swindled out of it.
Lucky has always been so fast in getting control of the Speedway. Now, I don't think he realizes that there's a player behind the smoke just yet. Almost clears out E-Box, gets one player, and now they have his information. 2 players on E-Box, he manages to get one, not able to pick up the second. Cross left, around the corner, gets Sergi. Pretty easy cleanup coming out from the AGF side because, well, Crazy didn't really have much to fight back with. Now Toxic left alone with the USP. At best, what he could hope for is to pick up a weapon and maybe save, but even that is looking out of the question as he is taking down. 5-2.
Five to 2 indeed. So far, so good. AGF on train, starting to pick up the pace. The one scary part about this round is, well, not just this round, but the fact that they have 5 rounds is the fact that the CTs will start to struggle with economy soon enough. I'm not sure they spotted Luki getting out of main, but even if they didn't, or if they did, he's still going to be able to get 2. And oh my god, almost a third as well. Sergi's lucky to be able to at least shut him down, but Luki, he is lucky to be Luki in that instance. And yeah, that's never mind me. As Toxic will be holding the B site yet again. This time around, though, Christo is ready for the second peak. And it shall be a 3v2 retake of B that already perhaps Crazy are not even intending to pull off.
This is not looking too good for Crazy. I mean, one of the rounds they got was the pistol round, and one round they got it off of the back of the bomb plant being denied. So they haven't really gotten any solid rounds where they can truly say that they held the bomb site down and were able to really shut down AGF entirely. And the implication of that is just the fact that CR4ZY definitely don't have a great setup to counter whatever AGF have going for them. AGF have been taking their time. They go for a little bit of early control, and that's something we see CR4ZY continuously have trouble with dealing. I mean, AGF, they just go for this a little bit of control towards Speedway, and then they either retract or they're able to get a couple opening kills off of which they just move into the rest of the round. So CR4ZY just not able to shut it down to begin with, or even adjust their play to be a little bit more passive around it.
Well, they don't need to be as much like they don't even like at this point. AGF it doesn't feel like they need to massively change their current trajectory, their current mindset going into the rounds themselves. And sure, against pistols they'll have to be a bit more careful, but overall they seem to be pretty much on point in how to handle those close corners. There had been a few instances where of course they made the mistakes, as we pointed out well enough, some basic ones overall, but this is where one could argue that AGF are handling themselves very well, considering how map 2 ended, considering in what kind of a position they were not too long ago, and the fact that, you know, CR4ZY did pick up the early start again. But this time, once more, AGF securing the vital shot of Surges to make sure that the rifle is not going to be effective. The second here now on Sensei, and those rifles being pertinent to the round's success will pretty much close out with 7 rounds already. This is perfect. This is really good. I mean, it's Strain we're talking about here, and every single round they get on T side is just, at this point, an extra cherry that there is going to be very little room for CR4ZY to mitigate with.
This is looking like a similar situation in Inferno, but if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, this is actually looking worse, because you have to keep in mind that when AGF was winning on Inferno, most of their success initially was on the CT side, but this time around the scoreline is looking quite similar, and it's on the T side.
Yep.
So whether or not CR4ZY is going to be able to bring it back into this still remains a question to be answered, and AGF, it seemed like that answer needs to be in their favor, because, well, they've already gotten control of the A bomb site. TMB, though, gets caught with a molly. Not the kind of situation where you want to have a molly in your hand. Lucky, though. Oh, nice tight little shot there by Sensei. But Lucky is wreaking havoc here. He's already gotten 2 kills to his name. Well, make that 3, actually. But he is not able to follow it up just yet. Even that round off of CR4ZY, that was based off of these aim duels succeeding for them and Sensei being able to pick up a couple kills. So still a little too close for comfort. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I said that there needs to be a little bit of passivity coming out from CR4ZY, because holding onto the bomb site a little bit more passive basically meant that they could give up Speedway control and still actually make it back into the round, rather than immediately losing all of their players, which was pretty much being guaranteed in the previous few rounds.
Yeah, that's true. It does give them more room to work with after. Unfortunately, this time around, it's B that is being hit, and they are not really responding to it too well, losing the first player already. That's Toxic, the man of the hour of Mirage. Unfortunately here is just another one on the belt notch, or the notch in the belt for AGF. DemQQ, good start. Got Frostland at the beginning. Now let's see if they can mark it up for a few more before they attempt this retake. 4v4, surely they will go for this, or at least surely they at least attempt to get one more and see where it leads them to. They do need to make a fast move though. Lucky and Dafu. Oh boy. Well, there we have it, folks. There we have it. That should be the end of the row for CR4ZY. As they attempt, they get, you know, they get a little bit of damage in, but the outro is not exactly perfect. And lucky that they won't lose the 2 last rifles, including an AWP, and they can rebuy. Yet AGF, they continue their dominance. After losing 1 round, they're back on it again. The saddle theirs to handle. I am honestly a little bit concerned here for Crazy, and this time a technical pause being called for AGF.
Yeah, to add to your point about being concerned here, they don't really find themselves often in a position where they have the upper hand. I mean, even now, they don't really have much economy to work with. They're going to have to play around the AWP of Sensei to be able to pick up a few kills here and there, or potentially show some aggression. But Train, unfortunately, is not the kind of map that allows you to really be that aggressive with the AWP. I mean, the choke points are in favor of the Ts, in the sense that it's very difficult to really get up close and personal. I mean, if you contrast it with a map like Mirage, the AWP can be played towards so many angles where you can scope in towards ramp, you can scope in, like you can rush up towards top mid, you can go towards apartments, but you have very few angles here on Train. Like, for instance, you can maybe go up highway, or you can maybe scope Ivy, but that's about it. And even then, it's just really difficult to get control because those aren't as hotly contested as choke points on other maps. So relying on Sensei's firepower, I don't think that is going to be a viable strategy here. Toxic is, I mean, he's on $1,500. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, tough situation to be in. AGF though, definitely feeling very comfortable in the saddle. 8 rounds on the board to 3 of Crazy.
Here we go. Here we go. TMB again. Gonna open it up. This time an even faster approach towards A. Crazy. Now they don't force up, of course, so they are not going to be losing the next round because of a low economy scenario, but they do lose the op. They do lose the M4, and above all else, they're still in a horrible spot economically speaking, as you already mentioned. Toxic at 1.5. Luckily, loss bonus being at maximum, it helps them to at least have some sort of a meaningful buy. Maybe even double up. Yep, there we go. In Crisis, usually you would see Crazy approach a little bit differently the rounds themselves, and in the certain sense right now, it's definitely the right way to go about this. Double up might just be their saving call, I guess you could say, saving grace, one could say. It's time to find out if it will be, though. Is this another A play? Because it looks like it. AGF. A 1-2-2 split, or more specifically,
They've changed their pace a little bit, though.
Yeah, they've slowed down, haven't they? They decided to take a bit of a break for a second. I like the
Yeah, this
fact...
time around,
Yeah, sorry.
if Crazy go for passivity, I don't think that's the best of decisions here, because aggression over here might have actually worked out in their favor. But I like that from AGF. I mean, they've exhibited in the previous maps that they are capable of having a bit of a metronome thing going on as far as tempo goes. I mean, they're a little more fast-paced in some rounds, and they're able to adjust their pace immediately. AGF, though, they're making their way towards Ivy. Christo has been granted the mobility to come around the side and scope in with the AWP. Sergey is going to have so much to contend with here, as he has three terrorist players to deal with. Oh, I think he's going to catch Frostlife here. I think he spots a Pixel. Oh, yeah. Pretty sure he spotted a Pixel right there. He's waiting for the push before he tries to go for the flashbang. He wants to make it count. He sees the player, goes for the flashbang, and with 28 seconds on the clock, AGF have to do something fast. There's 4 players waiting on the Crazy side. Oh man, AGF, they've taken too long. I don't think the bomb will be going down anytime soon, and Psycho will be there to make sure. If he gets one, Bristow gets one with the AWP, but it is a bloodbath here. Psycho takes one down. AGF somehow getting the upper hand here. The bomb is being planted. How is that possible? Toxic tries to go for the denial, but it doesn't come out in their favor. AGF, man. For a second there, I thought Psycho was in a pivotal position there where he could absolutely shut down AGF, but somehow, in the nick of time, in the last few seconds, they're able to bring it back, and Toxic, unfortunately, not in a position where he could even deny it. Oh, that has to suck for Crazy, man.
Absolutely. I mean, they they felt like it felt like they might have already gotten the round. If only they had delayed themselves in dying for another few moments, probably the time would have ran out on AGF. But instead, the outcome is worse than ever. First of all, the money is gone, and they will be investing just a few pistols, a few Kevlars into this, so it's not a massive pull away. Actually, getting more than just a few pistols, this is turning out to be a bit of an effective round for them. I didn't expect that. Although, well, back to square one we go. As soon as I say it, FrostLove has something to add on that. You know, he's like, yeah, boys, you might have gotten your 2, but you ain't getting any more, and that's exactly
unfortunate.
true. I mean, it's an eco
This
round.
is a recap of Inferno. I mean, now
Yeah.
we know for sure that this is a worse scoreline than what we saw in Inferno because of the fact that this is coming on the terrorist side. They're already on double digits. In fact, they're more than the bare minimum required for double digits. They're on 11 points. Crazy only managing to scrape together 3 rounds, and 2 of those were off of one was off of a pistol round and one was off of a bomb denial. So no real solid defenses coming out from Crazy apart from one. AGF again going for really quick aggression. FrostLove catches one, dropping off of the train. Bit of a misinput coming out from DemQ.
My God.
Psycho though responds. Toxic. Ooh. They have so much attention here towards B and short ladder. It's really hard to predict what kind of play they're going to go for, but one thing is for certain, they're not going A within the next 25 to 30 seconds, and looks like I'm going to be right here because the execute on B is about to happen. Smokes have been thrown out, and now the cavalry is pushing in.
Here comes the take, and surely they will be aware of Psycho being behind the box. Oh no, excuse me, Toxic Sensei is going to be able to miss his shot though, or not even able, but unfortunately missing his shot. This time around, he's ready for the lurk of TMB, or at least the slow approach. Psycho finds the second, and Christo, he gets the bomb down, but the round might as well already be gone. Close range, that molly will draw attention. Nope, never mind.
Ooh.
Still enough.
Man, Christo set himself up really nicely there, but unfortunately, when you're getting pincered by 3 players, it's so hard to deal with. 4 rounds, though. I mean, Crazy, I wouldn't count them out of it entirely just yet, but if history is to be believed, history repeats itself, and I think AGF are definitely in the upper hand to be taking train, but it's not decided just yet, so let's see how Crazy perform when they're on their T side. Right now, though, the names are switched up, so they should be fixed very quickly.
I mean, yeah, basically this is literally Inferno being played out, at least in terms of score, though it feels a little bit better for Crazy than Inferno did. It feels like they're perhaps a bit more confident in their stance than anything else. The pistol's still dependent, though, for Crazy. They have to win it, that much is clear. Can't afford to drop a dime until they get closer to the result that AGF is flying with. And we all know how Inferno ended. As soon as the pistol went the way for AGF, everything kind of collapsed moving forward afterwards for the team of Crazy. Ooh.
Yeah, but this time around, though, AGF, they've already lost a man, but they respond with a kill of their own. 2 players going down from the T side, though. It's a 2-on-3. The USPs, can they outrange the Glocks of the T side? Apparently that is going to be the case, as Sensei is 1-tapped out of existence. He is in another universe right now, recollecting his thoughts. As Psycho is left in a 1 versus 2. Lucky and FrostLove have to be dealt with. He doesn't have armor. Comes around the corner with the P250, gets the first shot, spams away and gets the second shot as well. Coming in clutch for the Crazy side. And AGF, they managed to lose a 2 versus 1. A little unfortunate there, but solid stuff coming out from Psycho. I mean, that pinpoint accuracy there makes up for the fact that he has to go for a spray on the second one.
What's really good as well is both pistols going to, of course, to Crazy. Now, it might not be good in terms of the result itself, definitely a bit concerning when you think about it, but they get both pistols, and the second one here being the most important of the 2. They secure themselves the 5th, they secure themselves perhaps a little bit of buffer to work around, although Oh, I've seen this movie before, man. I've seen this before, and it doesn't end well, usually for the T's. They're looking like they will be hitting the B site. There's first a fake or a bit of a distraction set with the smoking upper. And with Luki having a mech 7, close range to wall, or close range to the ramp, his angle is pristine, although he's only good for the one. Frostlip still supports the CZ being hard enough to hit hard, as Dafu continues the massacre with the Deagle. This is a disaster for CR4ZY, and really couldn't be said any differently than a disaster. This is... Oh, man.
Yeah, this happened in the first half as well. I mean, winning the pistol round and then dropping the second. So unfortunate for CR4ZY, but it looks like history is going to repeat itself. Just like you said, a movie being replayed here. Christo plays another scene just there. Scout rifle to take one out. Sergey. Pretty much impossible situation here because he has 4 angles to deal with, and the bomb is in no man's land. This should be it if he peeks out towards highway. Oh, nice little shot, but don't think anything more than damage is something that he's hoping for. Not really able to follow it up, and that is expected. Man, just running into the B side stack like that, losing the initial player to the Mag 7, and just out of panics, dropping kills left and right like flies too. AGF now on 12 points. They have less rounds to go to the win as CR4ZY currently have on the board. I mean, they need 4 rounds to win. CR4ZY has a total of 5 rounds, so it's just
Yep.
bad position to be in for CR4ZY, but a little expected because of how well how well AGF has played previously on a map like Train.
Yeah, and the statistics speak for themselves, don't they? I mean, you already pointed it out well enough here that CR4ZY have 5 rounds, whilst AGF require 4 to win the series with. That in itself is a scary reality right now that CR4ZY have to deal with. And they're going to be attempting B again. I can't blame them. They do have only pistols. It's basically an eco round with a few upgrades to work around with. Might be enough to break the site, but might not be enough to break the site. We'll find out for ourselves. Well, so far so good. This is excellent, actually, given the circumstances, though I say it. And a moment later, it's all gone down the drain, as none other than Frostlip and Dafu lock it in place. The bomb plant, though, still very successful. And 2 kills, I guess we can say, if nothing else. It's enough of an economical blow to the side of AGF that it might have a lasting impact if CR4ZY win this round.
And one thing I like about AGF is the fact that all across the board, they've just been so consistent. I mean, it's not just one player that's been stepping up consistently. All players have been putting in their parts. I mean, sure, it's easy to look at the scoreboard and go like, okay, Lucky's sitting on 21 frags, TMB sitting on 9, but at the same time, like, if you look at all 3 maps, if you look at the cohesion between the team, I think it's really difficult to point out one player and go like, okay, he's just the 1-star player, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Like, there is no... I think that we would do injustice to anybody on the server if we were to do that. It's more about how they work in tandem, how they work together, and that's exactly what's bringing them to be in such a great spot to begin with. Oh my lord, nade. The damage. I mean, just looking at the start of this round, obviously the entries are one thing, but the nade damage, the damage in general that has been dealt on the side of CR4ZY, it already accounts for another living player still on the server.
Oh, gets caught because of 1 pixel or so.
Oh, man. Well, we know where this is leading to. If it continues to go down this road, as it is so far, we are going to be seeing a very, very one-sided ender. And a bit of a fender bender here for CR4ZY, as they seem to be lost, not only in space, but out somewhere there. Just not currently present on the server.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to really collect their thoughts, bring it all together, and put up a performance, because One thing we constantly see is that Crazy haven't been able to get map control. I mean, throughout the series,
Oh yeah.
map control has been something that they haven't been very good at, except the one map that the one pick that they had. And even then, it didn't look as strong as you'd like it to on their own map pick. And now that they're playing Train, it's just a whole another demon that they have to deal with. AGF double op setup, just so much to worry about here for the Crazy side. They're playing for the overtime though because they haven't even forced up. They have Deagles and I think that's a P250 all across the board. Two players already being ripped to shreds. As I say that, TMB and Toxic are gonna have a bit of a scuffle there, but still AGF favored.
Yeah, I like how you pointed out the map control part, or the map control issue that they've been having. Yeah, absolutely. Like Inferno, we could see they could get nowhere with it. They literally had no map control to work with, and that cost them pretty much their T side in its entirety. Obviously, the CT side was negligible to even mention because by the time they got there, it's a little bit late already. But then here, it's very much similar. Again, they are unable to succeed in at least establishing themselves a bit more safely on the map. You know, putting players into main, putting players into Ivy, and then holding that spot for a few moments before you would actually commit somewhere. We can see that Crazy, as you said, OT will be the one they'll be playing for, but they do have an op on Sensei, so if they're able to shut out Ivy control, as they have been able to shunt them away from Ivy, there is perhaps success yet on the horizon for Crazy. This has to be played to perfection, though. Their timings have to be absolutely pristine down to the bone. Let's find out if that's going to be the case. A B attempt will be made, though, by Crazy, and I'm not liking the B attempt, man. I'm not feeling it at all. I gotta be honest.
I actually like the fact that they're going for a B push, especially because in this case, even if it's a little down to luck, they only have two players to deal with, and one of them is all the way back towards Connector. And there isn't going to be a quick rotation anytime soon. Now the distraction comes in from Crazy towards Ivy. The rest of the players situated towards B. The push should be coming anytime soon, and AGF become more and more committed towards the A bomb site. They even have a player that is watching towards CT, and now the B push is coming in. Now Crazy looking to make their way back into this game, but Lucky has already taken down Toxic. Christo goes down as well, but Demq is there to potentially save the day. Christo not able to find anything just yet, apart from the one kill that he did. The bomb should be going down very soon, but not very comfortably because they have so much to deal with. Unfortunately, though, that is going to be it. GGWP, AGF with two very convincing maps, and even